How to solve labor shortage problems in construction. In this video, we're going to tell you the truth about why this is happening and what we can do about it. So what can we do as an industry? What can you do as a company specifically? And what are some references? In fact, I'll link you to a really cool reference in case you really want to tackle this head on. So let me first talk about the problem. So we don't have enough people. Right now we can use well over 500,000 new people in construction just to meet current demand. I have heard that for every one person entering the industry, 5 are leaving. In certain regions of North America in the next 5 years, 20% of the workforce is set to retire. There's also a really staggering statistic that after COVID-19, during and after, there's approximately 4 to 5 million people in the United States that could work, that are not working, and are not actively looking for work, which is a number we have never before experienced in North America. We know that training is an issue and there isn't a lot of training being provided for new folks. They don't typically want to be here, and our industry is in a situation where everyone is frustrated and they've had it up to here. And so I'm going to tell you something that might not be as fluffy as was probably being expected, but it's the honest truth. This entire situation is perhaps not our fault, but we are in direct control of it. Let me explain it like this. What do people typically say when they think about labor shortage? They're like, the newer generation doesn't want to work. There's nobody out there. Nobody wants to come into construction. They're lazy. They're all on their phones. They're not trained. They don't know what they're doing. The new generation is just different. The new generation sucks, right? These are the things that people say. Now, I'm not going to blame them, and I'm not going to blame the people that say that. I love them all. Like, I love this. Like, hey, we're all human. We're all having a human experience. But it's just not accurate. And let me just explain this. If literally that is the case, if it's literally 100% that people don't want to work, there are not enough people, the generation is different, and on and on and on, what can we do about it? Nothing, because we're victims, okay? It's never going to work. So a mindset of, wait, what is happening and what do we have to do with this? And can we take some Jocko Willink extreme ownership? Can work, because then when we're in control, we can do something about it. So I really like, and I believe 100%, that this is the fault of faulty systems. We have schedules that really push people, make people work overtime, burn them out, cause a lot of difficulty, which creates the highest suicide rate in any of our neighboring professions, right? Our suicide rate in construction is 5 times the actual rate of deaths in construction on job sites. Like, it's actually absolutely staggering. We have still to this day, even with legislation and OSHA and everything else, we have job sites without proper bathrooms, without toilet paper, without hand wash stations, without a place to eat lunch, in horrible conditions where you wouldn't want your family anywhere near that. And honestly, like, there are other third world countries that treat their people better than sometimes we treat people on our job sites. Okay, so we have that situation. We have construction managers that are not encouraging their children to come be a part of the fun because they know what they're going to get. We have rampant disrespect for workers. We have abused trade partners. We have foremen that are in hostile situations, and we constantly complain and blame them, and we make fun of, not me, but the industry makes fun of the younger generation and does everything that they can to offend them, to treat them with racist and sexist behavior. So you might think that's a little bit dramatic, but like, out of all those things I just mentioned, where's the lie? Well, how am I exaggerating any of this? The answer is I'm not. And so we could stop being surprised by, oh my gosh, we've been treating people like crap. Why are they leaving? I don't know. Well, maybe it's because we've given them a message and they're finally starting to hear it and they know we don't want them. Let's look at it like this. Maybe it's none of our fault, but the system is faulty. Our approach is faulty. The culture we have created is faulty. The behaviors we are espousing is faulty, and the process is not working, okay? So we are going to have to do something about it. The truth is, our projects are getting done with workers and foremen in spite of the stupidity of the general contractors. I'm just telling you. Like, the general contractors using stupid systems with unnecessary paperwork, with bad crash landing schedules, and a wrong approach, not using lean methodologies, and we're still finishing jobs not because of them, but because of the trade partners and the foremen and the workers that are employed by those companies. That's the truth. And until we get that, we're not going to solve this problem. And so most GCs are like, oh, I'm finishing this job in spite of my trades. No, 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 no. Your trades are finishing that job in spite of you. It is our problem to fix. It may not be our fault, but it is our problem to fix. So let's go ahead and start looking at the solution. Number one, as an industry, if we want to fix this, we are going to have to start planning projects properly. We don't do it. Design, bid, build contracts incentivize not planning projects. We don't get money from it from the owners, which is a mistake. We spend a lot less time in pre-construction and we just go ahead and start jobs, job after job after job in a rush and in a panic, and it is tanking our projects, and the people that pay for it are the workers and the foremen. So again, why would they want to come into this industry? Okay, they pay for it with overtime, with fatigue, with trade stacking, with trade burdening, and with doing unsafe things because they're forced to. Number two, we have got to start using the right systems. We have got to stop using traditional CPM. We have got to stop using faulty contracts. We've got to stop using contracts with our trade partners that pit each other against each other and start knife fights. We have got to start to use lean thinking, integration, IPD, teaming, CM at risk, design, build contracts, tact planning, last planner, Scrum. I can keep going on and on, but we're going to have to start to use the right systems to enable our success. Number three, we're going to have to start respecting people. I don't think that we can fix the labor shortage until every project in the United States, just speaking for us, has nice bathrooms with hand wash stations and a trash can where they can go to the restroom with respect. I don't think we're going to ever fix this until there's a lunch area with microwaves and fridges and trash cans and nice things for the workers. I don't think we're ever going to fix this until we have worker huddles, respect and appreciation, and a safe, clean, and organized work environment for workers where families want to send their loved ones to work. Number four, we're going to have to stop the college talk. We're going to have to stop thinking that the only way to be successful is if you have a college degree. And we're going to have to start thinking like we can recruit police officers, ex-military, foremen, people from trade schools. We can recruit high school kids. We can do rehabilitation programs. We'll accept anyone as long as they go through basic training. It does not have to be that somebody goes through a 4-year college program to come into construction. Number five, we're going to have to stop being picky. I see this with foremen and I see this with construction managers, not so much with workers, but I'll tell you the number one thing that people tell me on my social media platforms is, hey, Jason, I'm a police officer, and I'm not kidding, or I'm a military vet, I'm a veteran, or I am a foreman with lots of experience, or I'm a project manager at Google, but recruiters will not hire me. I can't get a break. So if we want to fix this as an industry, we're going to have to like clap and wake up all of the recruiters out there and say, stop the madness. We are the ones that need people. We're going to have to stop being so picky. Number six, we're going to have to stop assuming people know what they're doing when they come to us and start doing training, 2 times the training, 3 times the training, 4 times the training, and show people where they can go with that training and what they can earn and what positions they can achieve. And number 7, I'll say it, this one's going to tank my career, the YouTube channel and everything about me, and I'm probably going to go out of business tomorrow. But we as a country are in dire need, and yet we are super focused on keeping people out of our country, not allowing people with work visas in, not being open to outsourced services, and we are again just very, very picky, and we're saying, hey, we're not going to allow anybody else to do jobs or to take our jobs in the United States when we've already established that millions upon millions upon millions of Americans do not want these jobs. Other people do, and we as a country have got to realize that people in other countries, especially our neighbors in Canada and Mexico, are brilliant, educated, amazing, and capable people. We should love, respect, and treasure them, and we are going to have to start to tackle this as a team, especially in North America, because we're not going to be able to rely on imports and services and production from China and Russia like we used to. So if we want to fix this, we're going to have to stop being so picky, number 1, and we're going to have to stop pushing people away, number 2. And so I'd like to give you, you're probably thinking, Jason, that was great advice, but what can I as a company specifically do? Well, let me tell you right now. Number one, subscribe to this channel. I'm serious but kind of joking. Like, start training your people, stay in touch with lean practices, and really start to grind. But in all seriousness, number one, create a kick butt company, like a great culture, great business system, great leadership team, great environment that people want to be a part of. Number two, create an amazing culture. If you want to attract the best, whether they're management, foremen, or workers, you have to be attractive to them. If you have those two keys, you will not have as much of a problem with recruiting people and finding labor if you're a company where everybody wants to work. Number three, find good sources to hire from. This is most of the battle won. Yes, you're going to do ads. Yes, you're going to go to local references. Yes, you're going to hire recruiters, but you're also, why not start filtering people out of high school? Why not go form a partnership with that trade school? Why not go form partnerships where you can have connections to veterans? Why not hire police officers who aren't being treated well? Why not? Why not? Why not? Look for great sources to hire people. Four, if your company is just jamming and you're taking care of your people, start asking for referrals. People that know that they're well taken care of will refer family and friends, and that is most of the battle won, and you'll get your best people that way. Five, now that you think you're treating people well, double down and spend more time treating people amazingly than you even do recruiting, because how you treat people will filter more folks in than your recruiting efforts will. Six, build people before you build things. Never stop training, never stop adding value, never stop sharpening your people, never stop improving their career. If you do it and you take that approach, you will keep the people that are already in your organization. And number seven, make sure that everybody in your organization knows exactly where they're headed and that they've mapped a path forward. And so I know this sounds like I'm making it oversimplified, or like this advice is easy in theory, or for you to say, Jason, but it's harder to implement. I know that. It's a belt and suspenders approach. We're going to have to fix the industry, and until that happens, you're going to have to fix yourself as a company. Really briefly, I'll tell you that I have seen a company do this and go from 130 craft workers to 250 plus by following this system. And I'm going to link you in the description below to an author, Ryan Englund, and he wrote a book called How to Hire Better People Faster. He focuses very specifically on how to improve the difficulties of the labor shortage in your organization, how to hire, how to retain, how to make sure that you're creating that culture, and how to solve your problems when it comes to this. If you check it out, I know you're going to love it. I hope you've enjoyed this video. On we go.